Welcome everyone. I'm going to talk a little bit about the value proposition. Um, that just kind of reminded me, when I was going through one of these seminars a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. You know, one of my peers said, "Hey, you know what's similar about all of us right now is we've got to learn to pivot on the fly and do the best we can, both for our staff and for our members." And that just kind of reminded me, you're never too young or too old in your career to be able to pivot like that. So again, I'm going to talk about the value proposition and how we deliver the message of value, of being part of a medical fitness center to our staff and members. Just a little bit about me. I have about 24 years of experience. I started in the corporate health and fitness field, in particular with Health Fitness Corporation, now Health Fitness. I kind of moved into a quasi commercial yet slash corporate environment in downtown Cleveland. The last 16 and a half years, I've been involved in the medical fitness field. I'm a part of about a $5 billion system in the greater Cleveland area. We're the one not named the Cleveland Clinic. So I also am fortunate enough to co-chair our health system's well-being plan for about 35,000 employees and their spouses. Part of several community leadership groups focusing on increasing the health and wellness opportunities in our county. I'm chair of the board of directors for the United Way of Greater Lorain County. My county is about 315,000 people, about 20 miles west of Cleveland. And I've been involved in the MFA for about 16 years now. We have about a 60,000 square foot medical fitness site, like I said, about 20 miles west of Cleveland. Then we have about another 40,000 square feet of medical office outpatient. And they've just recently constructed a cancer center on our site as well. As the general manager or executive director, unfortunately, through the past couple of years, we've had to downsize our staff a little bit reluctantly. So I also oversee directly the aquatic, the membership, the front desk, and our day spa. We have about 3,400 members here. In the past, we've won Medical Fitness Association Program Innovation Awards for both our Parkinson's exercise program and something we call United We Sweat, which is we've partnered with different entities in our county to really knock down any of the barriers that people might face in going to get active and well and fit in our county. So we just kind of partner with having free group exercise classes, both inside our walls and outside our walls for the community. And in my system, we were acquired by University Hospitals about 10 years ago. And we think that the two strategies for us that still make sense are, how can we be that health, fitness, or wellness arm in our system for either a clinical department or a non-clinical department? And again, how can we be an asset for the community that we serve? A little bit just how this session came to be. A couple of years ago, I was talking with Dave and some other people about the Leadership Institute. And again, when I've gone to these conferences and seminars in the past, there's been a couple people that they've kind of delved into this value. And you're going to hear some great sessions on operations and finance and strategic planning and marketing. And those are obviously some of the core principles that in a leadership position at one of our centers, I am certain we might do every single day. Maybe one day there's a little bit more marketing, one day there's a little bit more operations. But I want you to think of value and how we create value for the members that we serve and how you teach value to the team that you lead, because that's big and it's not easy to do. The bottom statement there is I'm by no means an expert on the subject, but hopefully I bring a little bit of passion to this. I do a lot better when I'm in person, but I'll do my best on this Zoom. And again, hopefully you can find a couple things that are applicable that you can take back to your team and both your members as well. Just a couple of the key points: develop a better understanding of value, the differences and the similarities between a value and a value proposition, because those are two different things. How you see the value for the staff at your site and for the members. So just a little bit rhetorical. What do we personally think is valuable to us? Time. I know a big one for me. I value my time. I would generally guess to say that the most people on this Zoom right now, we probably got into this because we value the health of ourselves and our members. Family, friends. I personally had a really rough 2023, and it was my family and friends that got me through. Our faith and our beliefs. Now think, what is professionally valuable to us? Professional network. I mean, for my 24 years that I've been, in this industry, I've preached professional network. And again, just because we're not all together doesn't mean we still can't network in this leadership institute. When you hear some great sessions, or just, in maybe some of the candid remarks at the end, certainly hit some of the great leaders, and just the network in this institute. Hit us up on LinkedIn, so we become again valuable partners for our careers. The equipment you use and need. Uh, Again, I don't know too much about your systems, but I'm in the fight of my life, every year for capital, and often I'm going to my leaders and saying, all right, here's my plan. I hope my plan fits in your plan. So again, what's professionally valuable to us? The equipment to do our jobs correctly. Again, this Leadership Institute or conference, I'm certain that they're, again, your institution probably paid good money for you to be a part of this, and maybe to go to the MFA conference in a couple months in New Orleans. Leadership. Hopefully you all value leadership, and that's why you're here. And personally, for me, this is probably one of the biggest ones professionally, is your team. I know I do our new hire orientation at my site, and when I go through this to new hires, I say, all right, what's valuable to everyone here, and it's ultimately it's those who you work with, and for our members, it's the team that we have here. Yeah, we got to have a service oriented and clean place, and do all these things that I'll get to in a little bit, but ultimately it's the people here that we have working for us that hopefully are happy to be here and happy to serve those that come here. Our system in particular, UH defines value as value equals quality over price. And I just delivered this to my hospital in our system. And I said, if you went to, room 802 up there and asked the patient in that room, and you said, what's value defined as while you're here? I doubt that person's going to say, well, it clearly equals quality over price. They're going to talk about compassionate care. Goodness, they're going to talk about, hopefully they get a good meal served to them, right? So for a clinically driven system, value, they are tracking the quality of care measured against the readmissions, and that's valuable to, our C-suites that we may report into. Again, just value by definition, it's an importance of worth. You internalize your parents' rules and values. There might be more as a verb, the estate is valued at a certain amount. Consider someone or something to be beneficial. And I think that's where I'm taking this one a little bit. You come to value certain things in life. So just to get us to be able to shift a little bit towards that right now, we'll do just a real quick, I want to get into the value proposition definition. This is kind of your elevator pitch. It's a simple statement that summarizes why a customer would choose your product or service. And again, that might be different for every customer. We're going to get into that in just a second. But I believe I like this. It's the Harvard Business Review definition. Simply put, it's the customer's incentive to purchase our offering must exceed the incentive to pursue maybe our competitor's offering. And keep in mind, during my presentation here, our competitor might not be the next hospital's fitness center down the road, or the community center down the road, or the Y down the road, or the Crunch or Anytime, or some of the small dollar clubs in our communities. It could be anything that we're competing, against someone spending their money on, and we want to incentivize them to spend it on their health at our sites because we think that that gives them the best value for their dollars. So go through a couple experiments here, and I'll just kind of read them off. And if you guys want to put your hands up, I can see some of you on the screen. You're traveling. I'm going to give you a couple examples here. So you're traveling across the country and you have the choice to purchase some airline tickets. You can buy one off maybe a very popular commercial provider for $600. It's a direct flight. Or you could save $200 and get one from Spirit or Frontier. You have a 90-minute connection at DFW each way. Who's spending $600? Who's saving going Spirit and doing a connection at DFW? All right, there's no wrong answer to these. I just want to get you guys thinking a little bit about what you do with value in your lives. All right, TV media options. And I put this one on here in particular because I've done this presentation for 2 years now, and I've always, throughout these next two slides, I keep having to reduce the amounts because they keep going up and up and up. So you can stay with your current cable, classic, or dish provider. I know some people that might have had dish providers were not real happy over the course of the last 7 days. And that's roughly what, about $200 a month. Or you do some streaming and you could throw about 5 streaming services together if you're technologically savvy, and maybe you save $50. But I know for us in the greater Cleveland market, if we don't have cable in the old school sense, we cannot see our Indians, Guardians, or Cavs. So again, do you keep the classic cable and maybe see some of your favorite sports teams, or do you go to the streaming networks now? Rapid fire ones. For an anniversary dinner in your community, you taking your special someone to maybe $75 at a popular chain, or are you going $225 at the best spot? Who's doing the $75? Who's spending a little bit more and going to the best spot? All right. Miller, Bud, Coors Light. Who's doing that versus maybe a $5, $6 craft brew? Who's doing maybe a $10, $12 bottle of wine? Nothing wrong with that. Who's doing the $17 to $20 bottle? And who are our $30 bottle or more people? All right. Who would just rather suck it up and drive, we'll call it 6 to 8 hours? Or who's taking that maybe $300 flight? Who chooses to stand just free of charge, or, with whatever they're paying for that airline ticket, stand in the line? Who does $80 roughly TSA pre-check? Who spends between 155 and 179 on clear? If you've ever been to the Cleveland airport at 4:30 in the morning, it's the greatest $180 I spend out of the year. All right. Who spends, goodness, $200 to $300 to, take the time, grow your own vegetables, plant them, nurture them? Or who just goes to the grocery store maybe once a week and for the comparable cost spends about 100, 115? Who brews our coffee at home? Who are our fancy coffee people out there? Cut your own grass versus about 45 a cut. Just a couple more here. Again, I heard some southern accents on. I don't know who else is in the north here, and who either maybe for snow removal, maybe you shovel your own driveway. Who pays per season? Or who pays by push? I won't even make you raise your hands on this one. You know, who's our cheap toilet paper peel and who's our Charmin people? This one, when I do this one live, it's usually always a 50-50. You know, when you're traveling, who would rather get a small hotel room, you know, whatever, a Hyatt, a Marriott, a Hampton, versus getting a larger Airbnb, VRBO, but it's 10 minutes away? And this one, I unfortunately have to keep going back and raising the price on this. Who's $1,000 on NFL season tickets, or who just watches the games on TV? All right. Medical fitness center value. You know, why would people choose us? We do have the degreed and certified staff. We have that integration with our healthcare system, the providers. We develop that continuum of care. We want to be part of the patient's plan of care, and hopefully your systems are helpful for you to do that. Access to CEUs, continuous learning. I think we do that a lot better than maybe non-medical fitness sites. Routine emergency preparedness training. Again, don't take that for granted. That doesn't happen everywhere. And you know, sometimes maybe your sites are connected to an urgent care or an emergency department. We used to be at my site, and I mean, I have countless members that would basically let me know that, hey, I'm a member here because you have that emergency department right next door. And if something goes down with me, I know I'm going to be taken care of quick. Medical oversight for those of us who have medical oversight committees, or formally or informally. Disease management programming. Again, I know that that's something that the commercial sector is looking to get into, but hopefully we've got a leg up on them and are doing that ahead of them, and certainly much better since we have the people. Now, two things I think that our sites can do better than anyone else: customer service, and hopefully these are the two that, you know, we work mostly with our staff on. Be the best that we can be in customer service. And anyone have an idea on the second one? Cleanliness. Again, guys, without going to probably any of your amazing sites, I can probably say that none of us are the cheapest shops on the block. Probably all of us are somewhere in the upper 40 to maybe even over $100 a month clubs. And again, I think what we provide value to our members, because sometimes, and you know, we all have to take it, our members do leave us. Usually those are cost, convenience, and time. Those are usually the top three. When they come back, at least speaking strictly for my site, we almost always hear, no one talked to me, no one cared about me, or the facility was dirty, the locker rooms were dirty, there was a piece of gum in my cup holder every time I got on the elliptical. It always almost focuses on those last two. So that's the medical fitness center value. You know, how can our staff provide the value for those members? Again, specifically talking to almost those last two that I talked about: customer service and cleanliness. You know, does your front desk, do they know all the people's names when they come in? If you guys have personal lockers, do they have those ready for them? I always tell my front desk staff, you know, you might be the first person someone talks to in the morning or the last person they talk to at night. You know, your lifeguards. I know in my pool right now, I have no Olympians. But I can guarantee if I walked in there right now, I definitely have a couple walkers in there. So are your lifeguards, you know, if you don't have the automatic door openers, are they opening doors for those members that need the assistance? You know, are they engaging with all the members? Do they know all your pool rules? You know, do they know the size and lengths of your pool and how much is a mile and things like that? Your fitness specialists, you know, do they at least know the customer's goals? I mean, that's almost why they're there, right? And again, just to what we always say, you know, your fitness specialists are going to have downtime, right? I mean, I can almost say for all of us, again, without going to your sites, that they are going to have it. So, you know, when they do have downtime, show the constant cleaning, because, you know, that might be someone that maybe the patron doesn't choose to be an engaging person, but they're going to see that and they're going to know that they're going to a clean facility. Our trainers, hopefully, all your trainers, we're not just taking a client and saying, all right, we're going to do chest day and we're just going to do some bench press and we'll do some incline. Maybe hopefully they're on top of the new trends, the equipment, the variety of exercises they're doing. Again, member service, did they do the little things? Did they do follow-up cards or emails? They are the concierge, or they should be at your facility. They're the first person, generally speaking, that, maybe a new member has even talked to. So, are they doing that follow-up? Did you get your assessment? Are you happy? Do you have a 12-step email process that keeps them engaged during that? What we know is the initial first 3 months. Group exercise, do they make the classes fun? Do they make it special? I know we just had um hey, I'm shameless when I just talk about some of the things that I like in life. I'm a big hair metal guy. We just had Def Leppard in town, and I know my spin class, my spin instructor, she just did a Def Leppard day that they were in town, and my members, we had all these people that day going to the concert, and they absolutely loved it. They still talked how that got them ready for the concert. We have a spa. Again, do they strive for the best experience? And your leadership team, whether it's you, whether it's a team that you lead, are you visible? Do you show that you care and you take action? Do you communicate in a timely manner with your members? Why is this more important now than ever? We're still in a recession. I just pulled this picture up. So this is relatively recent data. I believe from May 2024. Again, for people's discretionary income, look what they'll spend most on, restaurants, dining out, bars, groceries, apparel. Look what's at the bottom of that, fitness. So again, how can we make fitness, how can we make our centers more valuable to those people? Because again, we are not the cheapest shop on the block. Again, from a customer's perspective, are we crafting it for that person? And this is where we're going to get into a little bit of this, the value proposition canvas. Whom are we crafting it to? This is our product, and with whether our product is the entire center, or maybe it's a program or service. I mentioned we have a Parkinson's exercise program at my center. Maybe you have some disease-specific programs at yours. So the product might be different. It might just not be the whole center, and that's great. It might be one of your specific programs that your wonderful medical fitness center has for them. But then look at the customer, I mean, again, we're usually not picking off members from other centers. I would dare to say, and I might not have this totally right, but roughly 50% of our new members at our centers usually are first-time people belonging to fitness centers. So, some of their fears are, oh my goodness, how am I going to use any of this equipment? Are we catering to them on that initial pitch of, you're going to get an equipment orientation, you're going to get a fitness assessment, we're going to take you through this, by your hand. Then again, it's just some of their wants and needs. I was kind of joke, but I'll almost guarantee that many of our centers are like this. When I'm doing a tour, and in particular, if it is a 55 to 75-year-old male, whether that person says it or not on their little tour sheet that I'm looking at, I'm going to take them in our locker room. And in our locker room, in about a 20 by 20-foot area, we have a hot tub, a sauna, and a steam room, which is always packed with that demographic of male. And I'm just basically going to say, you know what? You're going to spend a lot of time in this area. And, a lot of times that's what they want. That's truly what they want in that area. So again, this can be crafted towards the different needs of your customer, but make sure that whether it's your sales staff, whether it's your fitness specialists, whether it's your front desk staff, anyone that engages with your members, think of this value prop canvas. And again, it might be a little bit different for each person. Again, I'll finish up here. Hopefully I'm keeping us on track time-wise. Again, things you take back to your team. again, in their roles, what is their value to the team, to the organization? Hopefully your systems know that you're valuable, but don't even let them go down that path that you're not valuable to the system and to the community. Why are you valuable to keeping the customer? Think of what you can take back again to your members, to your customers. Remind them why your center and your staff are valuable. What makes your site and staff the right fit for their needs? Do this on social media, your membership and programs. And are there some advanced value-based options that you can do? Can you do some support groups for the members in your site? Maybe those with your specific disease management programming, the constant contact, etc. I know I'm coming up on time. Mary Ann, did I do okay?
You did great. And
Again, anyone that's my contact info. Please reach out to me. Obviously, we'll do the time in about an hour or two here. But you have my contact info. Reach out to me for anything you need.